Welcome to Vsb News Online for Wednesday, April the 8th. I'm Charles Webb. It was a case of on again, off again. But now the Conference of Black Mayors, which was originally scheduled to be held here last year, seems more likely to be off. This according to the Minister of Home Affairs, Senator Michael Fay. The conference, which has been mired in controversy, was rescheduled for this year, and Deputy Mayor Donnell Smith said the event would bring not only the mayors and their entourage, but increase business to Bermuda and to the city. Senator Fay expressed his doubts.
It is looking increasingly unlikely that the Black Mayors Conference will be going forward. We have had great difficulty, or at least the secretary of the Corporation of Hamilton has had great difficulty getting any information out of the Conference of Black Mayors that would suggest that that it could go forward. So at this time, it's looking very, very unlikely that it will move forward.
And of course, it would have been taking place in a matter of months, so that's really almost too late even.
I think so. Having said that, if of course it turns out that the event can be hosted and things look like they're moving in the right direction, then obviously, given the time that is now involved, it would be up for any new council, whoever they may be, to make a determination whether they wish to host it. Okay. But at this time, as steward, I can't support the going forward of the conference.
The Gibbons family has bought back sole ownership of Clarion Bank Limited just a little over a year after it sold its control and interest in what was formerly Capital G Bank. The announcements were made last night as the bank released its latest financial report. Vsb News' Chris Lodge has the details.
James Gibbons, a director of Edmund Gibbons Limited, said in a statement last night, "On behalf of Edmund Gibbons Limited and the Gibbons family, we are pleased to report that we have become sole shareholders of Clarion Group Limited. We remain committed to expanding Clarion Bank Limited's financial services business by working with strategic partners that will support our overall investment strategy to deliver world-class products and services for residents of Bermuda and international clients from around the world." It was only 15 months ago, in January of 2014, Edmund Gibbons Limited sold an 80% stake in the former Capital G Bank Limited to Bermuda exempted company CWH Limited. Two of the founders of CWH, Ian Truran and Zoran Fotak, became co-CEOs. Mr. Fotak left as CEO in October last year. Clarion also revealing that net profit in 2014 dropped to $500,000. That's down from $3.6 million in 2013. That's an 86% fall. The bank saying that core earnings, which exclude one-time charges, rose 44%. Ian Truran, the chief executive officer, saying, looking forward to 2015, Clarion Bank is strengthened by the increased support of Edmund Gibbons Limited and the Gibbons family. I'm Chris Lodge, Vsb News.
Home Affairs Minister Michael Fay has been accused by opposition leader Mark Bean of tabling a bill in the last session of the Senate that would give him the power to overturn the result of the upcoming municipal election.
I don't think the PLP was excited, as you termed it, with the new Team Hamilton that took over a few years ago. The municipality elections or municipal elections are just that, and they do not involve the Progressive Labour Party per se. And so we respect the view of the voters, whether it was the voters as residents or today would be a combination of business and residents. We will respect the wishes of the voters. What is interesting is the fact that just before the Senate rose for this recess, the Minister Fay, he tabled a bill on municipalities. And quite frankly, it's clear as day, he is hedging his bets. If this election does not go according to how he demands and desires, he has tabled a bill which would take control of it. And so that's, again, the manipulation of Michael Fay. I think everyone understands it. I don't have to waste too much energy explaining the spirit behind that minister's actions. But be careful, because I would think that Team Goslin, they are not a superficial ceremonial team. They are actually functional managers, and they have previous experience. I don't think they would be too happy if they were to become the new cooperation administration, and then Michael Fay step in and take it. But I doubt that will happen. That will only happen if someone else becomes the mayor and the administration. Then you'll see Fay use his dictatorial powers.
Minister Fay lost no time in responding to Mr. Bean's allegation.
No, I mean that's completely inaccurate. Okay. What the bill is doing is it is laying out further for detail the powers of stewardship should that eventuality ever have to arise again. Mm-hmm. It also is enabling the minister responsible for municipalities the right to give direction to a council, whether that's Hamilton or St. George's. The power will be given to the minister in respect of both, to enable guidance to be given or instructions to be given to a council to do something specific, much like you have with, say, the BLDC or WEDCO. To ensure that an agenda of a government of the day, whether that is an OBA government or a PLP government, is not simply stymied by a council, whoever that may be. As well, the bill lays out the fact that resolutions or ordinances can be passed after the minister has said yes or no. Now, the reason that Minister Bean's comments are inaccurate is because this bill will be put through no matter who is elected as the next council. And the very reason that this bill was tabled in the Senate was to make it very clear indeed to the public that it is not for the government of the day to be concerned or interfere with an election result for the corporation of Hamilton or St. George's mayor or councillors. The intent is very clear, and whatever it is not to overturn an election result. That is not what this bill is aiming to do in any way, shape, or form, and it's misleading to suggest that it is.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
In an effort to make Bermuda's roads safer, and in partnership with Bermuda Police Service and the Bermuda Road Safety Council, Defons Broadcasting is launching a safe driving campaign. Complete with thumb bands, come into Defons Broadcasting and 94 Reed Street and make the commitment to drive safer and slower for yourself. Your voice could be featured on the radio. Get yourself a thumb band as a reminder of your commitment to drive safer and with fewer distractions. While you're at it, why not get one for someone in your life who also needs a reminder that our roads do not discriminate. They can take anyone's life. Let's drive safe, Bermuda, and arrive alive. Peace and love. Safe journeys.
Opposition leader Mark Bean has revealed that Speaker Randolph Horton's complaint to the police is that he, Mr. Bean, attempted to blackmail him during a conversation in the precincts of the House. This came to light when Mr. Bean was asked by Vsb News' Brian Darby if his party had come to accept that the Speaker made a genuine mistake in closing down debate in the last session and to let bygones be bygones.
And I can name a few of them because they have been speaking over the last 2 weeks, basically telling, in quotes, you people need to be quiet and be nice and let us do what we know how we can do it, because we do it best. That's the message that has come as a result of this. And it also makes it as if the speaker is white as snow and is pure as snow. You can listen to the Hansard or the recordings and you will see that this has been a continuous effort by the Speaker in collusion with the One Bermuda Alliance to break the rules, to change the rules, and to allow the One Bermuda Alliance to conduct themselves in Parliament in a manner that's unbecoming. Ultimately, it gets flipped on all of us. It's all you parliamentarians, which is not true. It's clear that the Speaker of the House broke the rules willfully, even though he said it was a mistake. That's not a mistake. It's elementary. If someone brings a motion to amend another motion or a bill, it's a motion. Motions have to be debated. He quite frankly went right across that and put it to a question, and when my deputy sought to raise a point of order because he was certainly out of order, he subsequently proceeded to have him expelled from the House. And that's the final straw.
But he's actually suing you personally as a result of all this.
It's not suing me. And listen, Anytime the police or the judiciary or law enforcement is used against the opposition leader, there's only two persons in Bermuda that have that will or that desire to do it, and history has shown it. That's either Michael Dunkley or Mark Pettingill. No one else calls the police on Mark Bean, and so he has gone and made a complaint to the police. I'm wondering what exactly did he tell the police? Because if he told them the truth of our conversation that I had with him and two witnesses, then I would think that the police would be investigating the speaker right now. But the fact that he will make a statement and claim that I tried to blackmail him, I think says it all. And so we will just have to wait and see until May 15th. We will not be able to have progress in this country if we cannot follow fundamental basic rules. And that's all the Progressive Labor Party is asking for. But when you see something amiss, something awry, something that's not adding up, and we are closer to the political landscape than anyone. We understand why and what and how and who and when and where. The public might not understand. Actually, the public do understand. The public do understand, Mr. Darby. Right? Yeah, you better believe it. And I would think that if you have to be in Parliament to see it and believe the type of behavior. But ultimately, the Speaker is trying to hide, in my opinion, behind Michael Dunkley. And that's why you see that approach taken to call the police. That's what Michael Dunkley does all the time.
As a result of an approach by Bermuda's group of outdoor artists to the Bermuda Tourism Authority, an inaugural Bermuda Plein Air Festival will take place this November. Artists from the United States and Canada will be invited to join the local painters. Next week, the overseas marketing will begin at a major art convention in California, as Vsb News' Brian Darby relates.
More than 750 art enthusiasts from around the world attending the 4th annual Plein Air Convention in California next week will be enticed to bring their paintbrushes to Bermuda this fall. The inaugural Bermuda Plein Air Festival will take place November the 14th to 21st, and a group of the festival's organizers will be in California to get artists excited about painting landscapes in Bermuda. The Plein Air Convention we're attending is known as the Woodstock of Plein Air Painting, which explains just how passionate this group of artists is about painting outdoors, said Margaret Potts, co-chairperson of the Bermuda effort. Plein air painting describes artists who paint outside in the open air. The activity is as old as painting itself, but has grown in prominence over the years. A Bermuda plein air group was established on the island about 12 years ago under the leadership of Chris Marsden and Jonah Jones. The group sought the help of the Bermuda Tourism Authority to put on its first ever visitor event called the Bermuda Plein Air Festival through the BTA's Tourism Experience Investment Process, which seeks homegrown ideas that grow tourism. The Plein Air Festival was rewarded with financial support. The BTA's Leisure and Cultural Affairs Manager, Tasha Thompson, said that they were impressed with the application from the Bermuda Plein Air Group and felt this new event fitted perfectly into the arts and culture season from November to March each year. Bermuda Plein Air expects to attract visitors primarily from the United States and Canada, who will mingle with the local painting fraternity. Brian Darby reporting for Vsb News.
And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
The final day of the pool portion of the 2015 Carifta Swimming Championships in Barbados saw Bermuda swimmers back in finals, adding to the medal count and setting personal best times. The Bermuda 13-14 girls 200-meter freestyle relay team of Ashley Irby, Megan Lau, Emma Harvey, and Madeline Moore picked up a gold medal with a time of 1:52:35. Moore stood atop of the podium at the end of the 13-14 girls 50-meter freestyle, touching the wall first, claiming the gold medal with a time of 26:99. Shannon Hassel captured a silver medal when she finished second in the 15-17 girls 200-meter backstroke. Harvey clocked a time of 2:35:11 on her way to finishing fourth in the 13-14 girls 200-meter backstroke, while Moore finished seventh with a personal best time of 2:37:08. Tyler Mazurek, Peter Kiernan, Philip Hagan and Jesse Washington teamed up in the 15-17 boys 200-meter freestyle relay to finish 6th, clocking a time of 1:43.57. The amount of people who are able to classify athletes with a visual impaired has grown by 50% after 21 candidates, including Bermuda's Dr. Leonard Tebachue, passed a training course in the Greek capital of Athens, the International Paralympic Committee has announced. The newly qualified classifiers now have the ability to work at the international level, and they will be able to classify athletes for the IPC and the International Blind Sports Federation. The Barclay Institute Gymnasium will come alive on Saturday, April 18th, as Johnny Lima and Teachers Rugby present Fight Night 17. The fight card is packed with thrilling amateur bouts of local favorites, first-timers, and overseas opponents. Bermuda's Pan American Sandock Cup champion and 2014 recipient of a Bermuda Sports Achievement Award, Real Bowen, will be one of the featured fights as he faces Canada's Ace MMA and Victory MMA champion Cole Fitzner. Hall of Famer Clarence Hill, who is preparing some of the boxers out of Controversy Gym, shared his thoughts about the fighters preparing for battle. One of the fighters that will be on show on Saturday night is Ezekiel Greenwood, who explains what he's learned in order to get into the ring. Zaire Simmons and her Virginia State University women's tennis teammates defeated Virginia Union University 9-0 in a women's tennis matchup at Battery Park in Richmond, Virginia. Simmons defeated Ellie Parsons in straight sets 6-2, 6-1 in singles play. She then teamed up with Monette Graves, and they defeated their Virginia Union University doubles opponents 8-0. This coming Saturday, we'll roll back the years at the Somerset Cricket Club as the R.O. Smith annual Earl Boys football match will take place between St. George's and Somerset. Myron Bringman, one of the organizers, gives us more details about the upcoming encounter.
Well, first of all, people have to understand that the rivalry between St. George's and Somerset goes back to the cup match days. And like I said, these guys are over 40s, they'll spend their time. So this is a way of enjoying ourselves and keeping the camaraderie, keeping everybody together. Like this particular year, because I want people to understand, we're going through a real sad period this year because of death within individuals' family. Like we had Stevie Dixon's mother being eulogized yesterday, sudden death of Cal C.O. Rayner, Colin Smith, former president and player from Somerset Cricket Club that was always participated in this event. And then of course you have Mayor Smith, her husband R.O. Smith. That's why they put up the trophy. And we play in the honor of the Smith family. So it's kind of sad for the players right now, but to me, the players are mature enough to override that, and like you said, we have a good time. So.
The Commercial Bowling League season came to an end with Sweet Life crowned the champions. In the final games of the season at the Warwick Lanes, it saw the Braves defeat Superstars 4-0. The Alley Pals got by Double Trouble 3.5 to 2.5. Team Unsponsored defeated the Sunset 3-1. Guard Do It Best defeated the Live Wires 3-1. Sweet Life defeated the Spinners 2.5 to 1.5. And the game between the BPS Blue Lantern and BTC ended 2-2. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Thursday, April 9th, it will be partly cloudy with 1 or 2 morning showers. Winds will be variable and light. We're expecting a high near 73 and a low near 67. This weather forecast is the courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thanks for watching VSB News Online for Wednesday, April the 8th. I'm Charles Webb.